No one has really stepped forward in the wrestling business like Magic Johnson did in basketball, and I'd say, what is the word for it? Man up and say, I have this. I've tested positive. I'm going to remove myself from the league, or I'm not wrestling anymore. And they won't come forward. They won't. They're cowards.
I have nothing to gain financially or career-wise by coming out about this. Some people might not even want to wrestle me, and certainly the bigger companies won't want to hire me. The reason I'm coming out about this now is because I don't want anyone else to catch hepatitis C from wrestling or any other disease from wrestling. I feel people should know about the dangers before this disease is spread any further. Most likely, no, people would not come out about having hepatitis C because it would affect them getting jobs in the wrestling business. Also, if they'd had double blood matches in the past, it could open them up to possible lawsuits against them.
We do things for a payday, and if it would affect whether or not I can feed my family, would I step forward and say, I'm tested positive for something? I don't know if I would man up. Really, it's all about the payday.
Hepatitis C can lie dormant for years. Sometimes the side effects won't show up until years after you've contracted the disease, and you might not even know you've had it unless you were specifically tested for hepatitis C.
Like most people do who have hepatitis C, I found out accidentally that I had it because I was getting ready for a hip replacement. The virus was dormant and hadn't started destroying the tissue yet. But nevertheless, it was still in me.
So there's a lot of wrestlers out there that might not even know they have it and are still wrestling and possibly still blading and passing it around.
Here I am, superstar Billy Graham, hygienically clean person, sterile person, never a dirty person, always took care of myself, yet I have hepatitis C. And my dear friend, Road Warrior Hawk, who had hepatitis C, always clean, always dressed clean. So we have a problem here of trying to determine who has and who doesn't have a disease by appearance only.
You never know who has hepatitis C. Why I am so suspicious that Abdullah the Butcher gave me hepatitis C, because hepatitis C is a blood-to-blood disease. One of the main ways it is spread is by sharing razor blades. When Abdullah cut himself with the razor blade and then cut me, he took his blood and inserted it directly into my bloodstream. That has never happened to me before in any other match, and that is the fastest way to transmit a disease like hepatitis C. I competed in amateur wrestling for a lot of years, and I was actually drug tested by WWE when I was hired, and I've never failed a drug test. I do not have any tattoos, I do not have any piercings, I have never had any blood transfusions, I've never shared needles, I have never engaged in sex where blood has been involved. The only way I can think of that I could have possibly caught it was sharing the razor blade with Abdullah the Butcher when he cut me without my permission. In the making of the documentary, several parties have attempted to contact Abdullah the Butcher for comments on this situation. Up to this point, Abdullah has not returned any of our calls. My lawyer has tried to contact Abdullah the Butcher to request blood work. Abdullah initially agreed to provide us blood work. That was in September of 2010. He did not provide us that blood work.
That's obvious that he's dodging taking the test Personally, I think it's despicable.
It has now been 8 months. We have yet to hear anything back from him. If Abdullah the Butcher had nothing to hide, why wouldn't he simply provide us with his blood test results and clear his name? Abdullah continues to wrestle in double blood matches because he's known for double blood matches. That's what promoters pay to see. They don't pay to see him do drop kicks. They don't pay to see him do headlocks.
If I slice up my head or I slice up my arms, or I've even seen guys slice up their ears, if I do that, then I can get a crowd reaction and promoters will book me more because the people will really get into this. But that's not the fact, and it's not, I don't think it has ever been the fact. It's always been, to me, the bleeding and everything has been it's a shortcut. It's a way to mask your inabilities to actually go out and work on a crowd and work the crowd into wherever you want them, and you should be able to do that without any of that that kind of outside stuff at all.
Any wrestler that thinks they've been cut by another wrestler during a match should definitely get themselves checked to be sure that they do not have hepatitis C or any other blood-to-blood disease.
It's totally uncalled for. It's unhealthy. I don't want anybody bleeding on me because I think it's all bullshit.